wine.
Wisdom.
Whiskey, wine, and wisdom.
And James, take 2.
Okay, so this is Turkey Tree. Turkey Tree?
I think it's Turkey Tree.
Turkey Tree. Okay. I'm going to drink this.
Jeez.
What?
I go to look at my facts. A duck with boobs.
Yeah, no, I sending pictures randomly. I think that's what I'm going to do on my thing from now on. I think just sending people random, you know. Someone checks their phone, get a message, goes, oh, hang on a sec. I imagine someone's at a meeting and they're like, oh, excuse me. I just think they got a message and it's probably like, you know, like some important news about the footsie or, you know, like, oh my God, we've just invaded this country. And like, no, it's a duck with tits on its back. And I feel like that is just the fact that I can do it to people. You have this access to everyone's pocket. Yeah, I think it's important. So, that said,
yeah,
episode 33, or 33, and this week we agreed. I did the Catholic Church. You were supposed to do something else, weren't you?
Yeah, because we said in the last episode that I'll do some cereals, but then because someone, you know who you are, was catching up with listening to the podcast and noticed that we've done breakfast stuff before. So we thought we'll skip that guy, and then she's like, well, why didn't you try to do some spooky local stuff to us and stuff? So yeah, I've gone, seeing as it's the time of year.
It's a bit Halloweeny.
Weenie.
Thursday, mate.
Have you seen the big fucking spider in your garden? Of course it's Halloweeny.
Mate, I'm glad that's the reason. Otherwise, you know.
Yeah, because you don't want to let the reason be love.
Random pull. How did that get in your head?
I don't know, it's just the reason you said that, and then, yeah.
That went straight to that.
No,
No, I know the song.
Yeah.
Everyone knows the song, just no one thinks of the song because what would be the fun in that?
Yeah, I don't know.
Is that Boyzone?
Oh, it's some gay boy stuff, or so, or not. It was some boy band thing of the time.
I don't know which one. To be fair, thinking about it, boy bands aren't doing great at the moment, are they? Because
No.
Boyzone lost one. What's the new one that lost?
One Direction.
One Direction lost one. I swear it was so dark because I saw that. I'm like, oh, I've got no affinity for them. I don't know any of the songs. I don't, you know, it's not for me. It's not for me. It's for tween girls, and that's fine. And I know some of them because they're just in the news all the time. But I saw the news. I went on Facebook because I'm that age. And I go on Facebook and I saw a post. It was a minute ago that he'd fallen out of a fucking window, and I was like, poor cunt. I was like, you know, like I'm not a bastard.
No.
And then the first comment, which was like 12 seconds after someone had posted it, was like, I guess the One Direction was down.
Oh,
I was
fucking
like,
hell.
I was like, Jesus Christ. I mean, first, you know, the first one, right, I was like, fair play, that is really good and very quick. But you dark bastard, right? Oh. That guy's got a nubbin of a heart. That's a cold. I mean, if you go straight to that, you're either a comedian or you're a sick fuck. I hope you're doing stand up, because otherwise you're just just strangling kittens, you know, Jesus.
And as we've discovered in a previous podcast as well, we don't atone to animal cruelty. It's not a good thing.
We don't like it.
So if there's
we stand for the opposite of animal cruelty, possibly even close to kindness.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't, you know, promise anything, but I certainly won't hurt the bastards. But if you do, I mean, I think it's one of those few things. There's a few types of people where it's not only if you found out someone was doing that, not only would you think, oh, I don't like that guy, you'd actively try and harm them, right? Like if you found someone was like beating up a dog, you were like, oh, I got to break your legs. I got to fuck you up now, son. Them's the rules, right? And it's like kids and animals, and it's like, yeah, that's kind of it. Anyone else, right? If like I know people, I've known people who were like, I found out were like sex pests, and they were like bad people, right? And I've never tried to hurt them. If I found out someone had like kicked a dog or something, I'm like, oh, I've got to, you know, give me some elastic bands. I'm gonna go castrate some fucker, right? It's like it's on. It's just gonna happen, right?
So yeah.
It's just anyway. This is a dark, weird revenge fantasy for.
It's Halloween though.
Hypothetical dog pain. Let's do the things. Should we get this out of the way? Just don't try and trick it. Just do it. Just decide what you're doing now. I'll do the same.
Okay.
All right. You ready? All right. You ready?
Yeah.
One, two.
Spaff.
All right.
Oh, scissors.
Right, 1, 2. How are you doing this, man?
I thought you was gonna maybe change. Go outside.
I
the
did
box.
change. I did change.
Yeah, no, he did change. But I thought he was gonna go outside the box.
I thought it was marginally more likely you were going to stick with scissors than go to paper. And I thought, my thinking was, if you went to paper, you're most likely to stick with what you got. And if you went to paper, that was a 1/3 chance. Whereas I'm more likely for you to go to rock or scissors. And then it was like, so it's the best thing for me to do is be a rock. See, there's a certain amount of thinking that goes on. Not a huge amount. I think you're just...
Right, I think next time, right, we're going from rock, paper, scissors to Rochambeau. That's it. That's what's going to happen.
I think I might text you like the day before and say, I'm going to do scissors tomorrow.
But how could I go? Because then what's going to happen? I'm going to do rock, and then you're going to go, haha, let's trick Vatty and go, yeah, I'm gonna get you. But yeah.
You'll assume I'm trying to trick you, like, oh, I know what he's going to do.
Yeah.
I'm going to go out, I'm just going to go in there and I'm just going to...
I tell you what, let's do it now then, okay?
Yeah?
Live,
Yeah?
on this recording.
Okay.
What are you going to do next time?
I'm going to do scissors next week.
And then I'm going to do rock.
Okay?
Yeah?
I'm fine with that.
Okay, 100%, so I'm not changing.
I'm doing scissors. I'm doing scissors. I'm going to set myself a reminder. Hang on a sec.
Reminds
Set
me
reminder
Friday morning
rock. Next week to do scissors. Do scissors, 7 o'clock, 7 a.m.
Oh, I overheard you as well, so I've got rock scissors. So okay.
You won't know what you're doing.
No, I'm doing
Hey,
rock.
you have to listen
scissors.
to us talking. That's what you have to do.
Yeah.
We're like, 5 minutes in, just do that, okay?
Hey,
Anyway.
I've got rock. Okay, rock. Done.
Don't them.
Sorry, I cleared my throat. I do apologise.
It's disgusting. I punched the desk earlier when we were doing the...
Oh no.
Oh no. Oh no. I wondered if I could show time because it shows bars and I don't know how many minutes we're in. It's just, I never know. Anyway, you'll never know. Anyway, I'm going to do my churchy bollocks now, Catholic times, because I should say, on the outset, I'm not a huge fan of the Catholic Church. I just think it's interesting how it will come about. So, but I'm not. This isn't a. I'm not out to get them either. This is just interesting facts that I thought were interesting. Okay.
I've got my rosaries ready.
Like, yes.
Yeah.
You know many badly. One time there was... I always remember it, right? Alright, so years ago, I quoted... You remember... Oh, fuck no. Totally random, right? Before I even started.
There we go.
So... Yeah, no, this is... Yeah, Captain Tangent. So... the worst superhero. That reminds me of a time like, oh my god, seriously, just fight Thanos, fuck's sake. So yeah, no, I what's the film? Oh my god,
Pan's Labyrinth.
no, Boondock Saints.
Oh yeah.
Remember Boondock Saints?
Yeah.
So they like Billy Connolly's their dad.
Yeah.
And they
Brian Billy Connolly? Is it Billy?
Billy Connolly, yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah, Billy Connolly's their dad. He's like the assassin father. Anyway, so they go out and they fuck everyone up, and they just get randomly involved, and they're just like these two like cheeky chappies, and they're in Boston and they start killing everyone and ridiculously, and you got
good film.
Willem Dafoe. It's flawed in a lot of ways and it's cheesy, but it's kind of fun. I really do enjoy it. But they do this thing where they as they're killing everyone, they say, because they're good Catholic boys, and they say they say all their prayer.
Yeah.
So, many patri quid. So I because I watched the film and I was like, that's great. So I copied and pasted what they say and I put it as a Facebook post because that's what you used to do.
Yeah.
You put film quotes it was a thing it might have even been MySpace. It's how many years ago it was. The film came out 1 million years ago. So anyway, I put that up there. I remember my friend going like, she just posted like, I think it was, I don't know, I'll say her name, but I'm pretty sure it was a mate of mine. So she just said, I didn't know you were into that sort of thing. I'm like, what? Catholic? No, it's from this film. She's like, oh, okay. And I just remember being like, oh no. And I tried to delete the post, it wouldn't let me because people had commented on it. I couldn't take it down because I don't know, it was different then. Yeah. So I had this like, I'd randomly quoted some super religious, and I realised like, oh no, because without the context of it's the film, it just looks like I'm quoting scripture or like just Latin as well, and I look like a right wanker. And it's still, I mean, like this is like 25 years on, and I'm like, oh, still feel like a tosser. So yeah, I'm not a fan, and that's
You
always.
should check your MSN. What was it? Was it MySpace?
MySpace. I don't know.
Yeah, check it, because I could do mine, because I had some. I was a kid. I've had some offensive stuff on there. And it's like, wow. How?
Yeah, no, you can't be a celebrity now because they'd dig it up. They'd be like,
yeah.
actually, they only go back on Twitter. And he goes, 6 years ago on Twitter, I've never posted anything on Twitter apart from like, watch my band, come on, watch my band.
I think I've done one thing on Twitter once. Because that we were seeing an old band, not an old band. They were like doing like an 80s tribute at one of the place in Maidstone, the Central for Peter Hill, whatever. And they said, if you post this on Twitter or whatever it was.
So you reposted it?
So yeah, I reposted one of their things.
You said it like it was a confessional, like you were gonna like say "fuck the blacks" or something, right? I thought you were gonna go. Like, I thought you'd gone down some dark path. You're like, no, you did a repost.
Oh no, I done a that was for no. My MySpace was
you
my MySpace
said it like
was horrible.
it was gonna be some horrible thing you done.
No, my MySpace was horrible. I had it was like my background picture.
Was it just Hitler?
No.
White flour.
This
Pillsbury donut. Pillsbury donut. White flour.
It's horrible. I don't really want to say it because I think it's just nasty.
I had just gifs of hamster dance, Jesus dance. That was another one. And all that stuff. Yeah. I had a million gifs on MySpace just dancing around. Anyway, I'm going to say stuff about Catholic Church now because I'm not sure this is interesting.
Right, should they rock paper scissors then?
So I'm going to start. The Catholic Church traces its origins. This is the obvious thing. I'll get out of the way. So it traces its origins to the Jesus Christ and his apostles, and in the supposed timeline of when Jesus was here. Right? According to Catholic tradition, Jesus appointed Peter, which was one of his apostles, to be the leader of his followers, often considered the first pope. Now, this isn't really strictly speaking in the Bible. This is something that's in Catholic. So, the word Catholic was first used by Ignatius of Antioch around the year AD 110. It's from the Greek word katholikokos, which means toward the whole. Ignatius was suggesting that the church is a gift offered by Christ to all people. The thing is, though, this is something that come about after the fact, because, like, it's not in the Bible. There's no quote from Jesus saying like, "You will be my first pope." I don't know why he's Italian, but like, so in the premise, right? So,
sorry, yeah, so that was Italian, yeah, and I didn't realise until you said it's Italian. Oh yeah, okay, I thought you was like Stroke Town or something. I was like,
Jesus was Italian in that. So he sent Peter to go and be the first pope because so Jesus is there just to get the geography down, right? They're in the Middle East. They're in a desert, effectively. And he goes, all right, what do you want to do, son, right? In a minute, I'm going to get totally killed, right? I'll come back, but then I'm going to disappear again. You get 3 days, I'll come back. That'll be the miracle. And then rather than hang around and prove the fact, I'm going to disappear again, right? So, don't get me started on that. But, so then he sends him, and he moves from fucking, the Middle East to Italy to form the Catholic Church, which doesn't get named or even fully appointed for 110 years later. Well, let's say because it was 33 AD when he died. So anyway, we're saying like at least 70, 80 years later.
A long time.
So it doesn't really follow or track. So I don't think that's true. So there's that. Also, the weird thing is like that Catholic Church as it is today wasn't as it was then, because they were still moving to Italy, which already had which was full of Romans who were not Christians.
No.
And moving to Italy to be the Pope was a bad idea because they were more open than some faiths have been about other religions, but they were not like the Christians. They were not. They were not Catholic. The Romans were not fans of Christians, so it doesn't really follow that Peter the Pope was hanging out there and he was going to be, because they'd have. I mean, to be fair, well.
They did have
no, I'm about to get to it. The fact. Well, anyway, so I'll just play this thing. So Peter is believed to have travelled to Rome to become the first bishop there, not the first pope. He became the first pope later. He was appointed after his death. His martyrdom under the Emperor Nero at 64 AD, right? So again, 64 AD he was killed, which was 31 years after Jesus died. So I presume he was a peer of Jesus, so he might have been younger. Let's say he was 25 when Jesus dies. He's old enough that Jesus is like, this fucking guy. It's my guy.
this guy right here.
This fucking guy, right? So maybe he's 25, so he's got like... but anyway, he's still in his like late 50s or something when he gets martyred. So he's an old boy by those times. I don't know, it's a weird one. But anyway, he's a key moment in early church history, symbolising the church's deep roots in Rome. But given the importance of martyrs and people being killed for the, and the idea that Christians were persecuted, that's a big part of the ideology. Even today, when there's like more than 1 billion people in the church, they still have this idea of like, we're being oppressed. It's like, no, you're kind of largely the oppressors. But every time they get, any kind of, there was a swirling sentiment to maybe tax the church a little while ago, and the amount of like, the pushback was insane. It's like, guys, come on! You've been riding it for a while. I still think all churches should be taxed unless they're below a certain threshold. If you're making more than a certain amount of money, then you should be taxed. It's like a business. If you're making under a certain amount, but if you're making over that, unless you're funneling that money into charity, if you're spending it on bloody pews, then you got to pay tax. Sorry.
And ramen.
If you're paying it on ramen, then yeah, of course.
Pews and ramen.
Anyway, I did a few facts there just to but yeah, I just feel like that the idea of Peter was the first was the first bishop, and then was I think after his death he was referred to as the first pope, but he was actually a bishop. Pope wasn't a thing.
No.
Well, Jesus never talked about pope. Pope was a new thing. He was just going to be like the daddy of Christianity in Europe. It was weird. I'm not sure he was the same guy. I think he may have got a lot of things might have got fudged to make it all fit.
Yeah.
But who am I to say? I'm just saying there's not a huge amount of certainly a guy called Peter did get killed, and he was the first bishop of recognised bishop of Christianity. But to say that he's the one in the Bible who was there going like, on the sidelines going, oh no, don't, or Jesus getting killed, I don't know necessarily that all tallies up. But anyway, that's my first fact. Tell me scary things.
Ooh, so this is about local scary things.
Southeast England.
Southeast.
Where history comes from.
Yeah, we are. First one, Moat Park. It's located in Maidstone, Kent. Moat Park is a public park which is extremely popular amongst both the locals and tourists. The park was converted from a country estate about 300 years ago, but Moat Park, the park's stately home, was left untouched. Unfortunately, the respect shown to the manor had done little to alleviate the paranormal activity at the park, and visitors have been reported seeing ghostly encounters for many years now. So I didn't really know there was anything at Moat Park.
I didn't know that. I suppose there's a lot. There's some stuff on there. You're like, there was something here at some point, because like some of it does track that there was a stately home there. Whereabouts was the house then?
I don't know whereabouts it was.
Because obviously there's the lake, and there is some stuff at the back of that, and there's some old pillars and shit I've seen.
Yeah.
I do wonder maybe it was that side of it, on the left hand side of the lake. Anyway, I might have to go there and little pootle around.
Yeah, so because I've done when Katie done this years, she's done the 5k cancer run thing. Race for Life, that's the one. Fucking cancer run. I'm sorry.
Cancer run.
And yeah, because it's like me and one of my friends. We walked it because I ain't running 5 kilometers like for fun. But Kate was running it, so we was there to support. Yeah, and there was loads of stuff. Must admit, but yeah, don't know exactly. Alright, I'm gonna stop saying that.
So?
Yeah, that one.
So?
I found that I was watching a television program where they sell stuff like television sales channel, and they said it word a lot. So we've got this box, and so if you put this in there, so it only so I think that's what I'm designed to sell stuff on television, because I use the word so too much.
So you're actually rocking some QVC energy on the pod.
Yeah, positive QVC.
You're just
vibes.
a natural salesman, you can't help it.
So the new tonal microphone for podcasts is amazing. And no, I'll stop that now. Perhaps the most notorious ghost of the park is that of a little girl, which has been witnessed by dozens of park goers. One woman who lives near Moat Park and recalled You're looking at me through. Okay, that's scary. Oh no! So if you buy a pack of 4 of the Hobgoblin beverages, they come with a cardboard ring holder. The ring, yeah. And Dan is currently looking at me through the holder, and he's taking a picture for himself, which I'm sure will be the cover of 33. Please let it be. Let it be 33. The beginning of it. Yeah,
Let's see if we can get stay there.
You're looking like the Hobgoblin version of Terrifier. Oh dear. So a mid
It's not.
a mid fact, and then sorry,
Rando.
Yeah, so a woman who lives in Oak Park has recalled taking a shortcut through the park whilst travelling home one night. Passing a gathering of trees, the woman noticed a cloud of white light illuminating the darkness. After taking a moment to examine the mysterious light, the woman noticed that it was beginning to take the shape of a little girl. This is similar to the encounters of which a girl, the ghost girl, which other visitors of Oak Park have reported, but it's unclear just who that girl might be, and have been during her life. So basically, there's like illuminating lights within the trees, and it just starts lighting up, and then turns to form of a girl. And it's always. I'm sorry. All right, I'm talking. I'm trying to explain the fact, and then I just saw Dan.
You saw me? What the fuck, man? That's so fucked up. You just looked at me and I was distracting. My face is distracting, is it?
Yeah, it's just because you had those pulls over the can pulls over your face, and then you look weird. That's all I saw. That's all it was. I just saw big holes over your face. So.
Okay. Well, if that's all it was.
Yeah. So that's my fact. Oh dear.
Oh me, oh my. All right, I'm gonna have to explore next time I'm over there though. That's cool.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Next.
The Catholic Church, in its early days, was heavily persecuted.
Jesu Domine, Domine Requiem.
Early Christians faced severe persecution by the Roman Empire. Despite this, the faith spread through Roman Empire and beyond, appealing to people across various classes. And that was the thing, it was unifying. It was weird by today's standards, where it was the working class secret. It was like a dirty secret of the working class, because it was very much like Jesus was one of them, right? That was why it was so popular, because he was like a relatable, he was saying, you think of all the teachings of Jesus, they're all about like it's harder for it's easier for a camel to get through the eye of a needle than it is for a rich man to get into heaven.
I've never heard that before.
You never heard that? It's a famous quote from the Bible. But the whole point, that was one example. But Jesus, most of his teachings were about how being rich is bad. It's about looking after your fellow man, teach you the golden rule, all that shit. That was novel back then, right? So I find it weird today that the Catholic Church especially is so steeped in gold and opulence and shit, and like if you see someone they're Catholic, you're going to assume they're not a pauper, are you? No. People tend to be, if they're staunch Catholics, they're probably like bloody. I would imagine they're more likely to be in the middle or upper classes. The bloody the monarchy, they're Catholics, but your average punter, having a fucking wake and bakes,
Which one's Father Ted? Is he Catholic or Protestant?
They're probably Catholic. They're Catholic, aren't they?
I think, yeah.
They're dog collars. They're Catholic.
Yeah. Okay.
Just it was so, but yeah, they're part of the Catholic Church. But it's hi there, Father. But yeah, still, they're hello there, Father. Fuck off. That's good shit, man. Solid writing.
Yeah.
You can't get that these days.
No.
But anyway, so I find it weird that they were this underground sort of working class movement and it became what it is today, which is the opposite of that. And it was about inclusivity and about the meek shall inherit the earth, and all these teachings that are not in any way followed by the Catholic Church. They're the opposite. But yeah, I find it weird that they was spread sort of in hush whispers. They had secret meetings. You know, the ichthus, the fish you see on cars.
Oh yeah.
That was how they used to symbolise. Like, that was a secret symbol. They put that on things to have like secret meetings. They like have a little fish on the door, and they're like, doesn't mean anything to like passers by, but we know it means ichthus, which means fish, which means because Jesus gave away fish. Remember the famous story with the 500? So they're like, remember the fish? And unless you knew, you wouldn't know. So it didn't mean anything unless you knew what it meant, in which case you could cut. It was their way of communicating with each other, because it was like a secret meeting. You come by, and like, you go in, and it's like like some weird drug dealer or something. You come in like, you got the shit? Yeah. And he's like, start reading scripture. And that's what I did. But the early days, they were like, there wasn't, the Bible as we know today wasn't the thing. It was like they had like random bits of scripture they'd pass around. They'd have sneaky little notes. A lot of it was word of mouth, because they didn't have, a lot of them couldn't write and read anyway, so they'd just be passing stuff around, and they'd just sneak around and goes, did you hear about this shit? Oh man, that's the good shit. It was like, that's what it was. It was a weird underground movement, and I think they liked the idea of that, but obviously that's not how the church is today by any standard. And I've got a mini note to put with that one. Moat Park. Interesting. My little side note is the Vatican has the highest crime rate in all of Europe. This is because the Vatican City, as we know, the Vatican is a not sovereign nation into itself inside Italy. So technically that has its own currency, it's its own bank, it's completely autonomous inside Italy.
Okay.
So, and because it's a different country, technically, it's got the highest crime rate of any country in Europe. That's because the Vatican is the smallest country in the world, population of 1,000, with a significant number of tourists, 18 million every year.
Wow.
Who visit, and which inflates the crime per capita ratio to that standard.
I suppose it's quite easy to do though when you look at the size ratio. Yeah.
Well, if you think of 1,000 people, if you go in and steal a Snickers bar, or un Snickers baro, whatever the Italian equivalent would be.
A stick in a baro.
If you go in and steal a Snickers bar, then out of 1,000 people, that's probably the biggest. That's probably like you've just beaten Britain for crime straight away. And then if you steal 2 Snickers bars, then you're basically it's you might as well be like, I don't know. Think of a shithole. I don't know. I don't want to name anything because it feels like I had like 3 or 4 go through my head. I'm like, no, you can't say that. That's contentious. Don't say that. I'm not sure if they're bad anymore. Let's just leave it alone. And my other little side fact was Pope John Paul II. Remember that child, cheeky chappy, right? Not with us anymore. He travelled to more than 129 countries during his tenure. He got about, logging more than 750,000 frequent flyer miles, which is 3 times distance to the moon.
Okay.
That was a rando fact. He just got about.
Yeah.
Him the fucking Pope. That's what he said.
I suppose that's if you had that power, that's what you would say.
I think you just get about. Why not?
Yeah.
Go around and go like, he blesses people. Yeah. First, everyone is his child. My child, give me some cake, my child.
That's lovely.
Puff, puff, pass, my child.
Oh no!
Captain Snoop Dogg met up with him.
The Pope's grinning out. What's going on?
Like, I'm so fucked, my child.
Talking about being sick. Do you want to hear my next sick place?
Tell me about it. Sounds sick.
Hever Castle. Heave. See, that's Buzz.
Beautiful castle, though.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's a grand castle.
This fact is bit more. I don't know. Better than my last one, but it's only because there's like people I know in it, not personally, but from my history school. Hever Castle, one of Kent's greatest historical sites, built towards the end of the 1200s. The castle was home to Henry Bullen, a merchant whose son would change the family surname to Boleyn. Yeah, I see some people already here. The inaugural Boleyn went on to marry the daughter of the Duke of Norfolk, and the couple was set about filling up Hever Castle with their offspring. It was the couple's daughter, Anne, who had the greatest impact on history books, and her marriage to King Henry VIII or V111, remains a point of interest for many historians and history buffs.
Yeah.
Most people are aware that Anne Boleyn was beheaded in 1536 after her husband grew tired of her, but few are familiar with the stories of her ghost haunting her place of birth. Ooh. It is said that after her death, the spirit of Anne Boleyn returned to Hever Castle to spend eternity at the site of some of her happiest memories. Anne's ghost has been seen by numerous visitors to the castle, usually wandering the grounds or passing the time by a nearby river Eden. Anne's ghost does not appear in the malevolent... Anne's ghost does not appear to be malevolent and rarely interacts with those who come across her. Sightings of the former Queen of England are more frequently during the Christmas seasons, and her ghost is said to be particularly active on Christmas Eve. See how I've done that with my voice?
It's good. That's good. It's good.
Yeah. So I thought that was quite interesting because everyone's the one thing I took back from history was, King Henry got about a bit, some's died, stuff, and one, and that name. So that's quite close to home. Yeah, didn't realize.
Yeah.
So yeah, I found that fact a bit more interesting. She might have gone to Moat Park. She might have done that. She might have done the 5K run as well. You don't know.
I mean, she might have done, maybe. So she married in 1533, and
1533.
She was.
Yeah, she was
in her 20s. Oh, okay, no, I was just thinking, like, I bet she got married. Oh
no.
She always got married off like stupid young, I thought, but no, I guess not.
A bit more respect by age.
Yeah.
Then you'd hear some things and.
Yeah, but. Interesting. No, I just thought, like, you'd think if you got to haunt anywhere, it'd be the place you were killed, not the place you had a nice time.
Yeah.
I don't know. But then again, I'm not a ghost. I can't really attest to that.
But then if the ghost herself's not malevolent, she's just walking around going, yeah, liked here. I remember. I used to, when Mum used to cook me that dinner, didn't like it. Used to tuck it down the side of the sofa. And yeah, she might have said things like that.
Maybe. They had sofas.
I don't know. I'm just taking past experience and trying to relate.
Honestly, I'm more taken by the idea that the pre-sofa times. How did you just chill out? God, I bet you got sore ass sitting on like just wooden chairs and floor.
Oh, that's a nice. I've gone to EFS. Went to EFS. I bought a chair. What's it made of? Stump. Oh,
stump. Yeah, it's just stump with side flaps. Yeah. Oh. I've got some nice moss on top, so it's a bit spongy. Yeah, he cut her fucking head off, mate.
Dick.
Well, she weren't, Yeah, we looked at. We've covered him already. Pricky was.
Are you gonna? Is he going to be in one of your facts?
And the 8th.
Yeah.
No,
okay. Oh no, because he changed it, didn't he?
He did. He fucked off. But again, that was like there was some. Like, was it the fuck? The Italian Pope at the time would say, like, that's a bit fucked up. And there was some conniving and shit, but it wasn't, in terms of the grand scope of the Catholic Church, I don't think it was a huge... They were doing fine, The Edict of Milan. Okay.
That's nice.
Sorry, bit of burpage at a roast dinner and I'm knocking back some beer. So that is what you do on a Sunday.
That's it.
Okay.
Ruby beer from the Knob Goblin.
Knob Goblin, they call me. In 313 AD, the Roman Emperor Constantine issued the Edict of Milan, which granted religious tolerance to Christians and marked the beginning of the end of persecutions. Basically, by that point, there were so many fucking Christians. The Catholic Church was like, we have to get ahead of this shit. And so Emperor Constantine was like, alright, we can't beat him, we'll join them. And they effectively made the Roman Empire a Christian empire. And it was the beginning of what became the Holy Roman Empire. They transitioned from, what's the word, like, basically they went monotheistic. They were like, okay, there's one God now. There used to be like 12 main ones and 400, secondary ones.
Yeah.
But now we're going to one. We'll just change it over. Anyway, it was a significant turning point as it allowed Christianity to flourish openly, and it was effectively the first time it became a state religion, and because it was from there, it became sort of much easier to sort of proselytize and just convert other countries, and then that's why you start getting other monarchs who started to they change over, then the whole country, as soon as you turn the king or the queen, well, king, let's face it, then you know, a woman, no, as soon as you change
in those years such a thing,
not so much. You get the occasional well done, but for the most part, no. I mean, for Elizabeth I, you got to give her props. I mean, that was a job, that was a task, but for the most part, but that was the point. And it also, I mean, I don't know if actually, as a separate fact, I know quite a bit about that, because that's the next fact.
I
won't fuck with it anymore, because from that point on, it was fairly quick that a lot of the things that made the Catholic Church today became sort of set in stone. They became like, okay, well, because of that, within the next sort of 10 years or so, everything got codified and just made formal, and the things that are there today kind of got set. So my next fact is going to cover that, so I'm not going to talk about it anymore. Fuck you for trying to get at me.
Ooh. Next fact for me, I've been to this place many times.
You've been to Moat Park?
I've only been there a few times.
Well, you've been to Moat Park loads of times. What are you talking about? I've had picnics with plural with you there.
Was that there?
We've definitely had a picnic at Moat Park.
Okay, because I remember.
And you've been to Hever Castle. Must have been.
I think I've been to Hever Castle once as a child.
When I was a child.
But this place I've only ever been to drunk. Never been driving. I was doing the
I know what this is. Yeah, I know what this is. Yeah, straight away.
After that.
Sandow down!
Pluckley. Yeah, it was Sandow down.
Yeah. I just remember running through the woods. Yeah. I was sober as well.
Yeah.
And he just tried to slide on someone's bonnet and just slid off and just cracked on the floor.
Oh, gee.
Sandow down! He'd just randomly be running through the woods and he'd just disappear into a shrub. Anyway, sorry.
If you're listening, Tom, send it down.
Send it down.
That's it. Pluckley. Not only is Kent home to a number of haunted buildings, it also boasts, though, through that of many of the right words. Oh, Jesus Christ! I'll take back right words. So, just to explain, my eyes are fucked at the moment. I need old man glasses. I need to get sorted out. So, my apologies. I've got to Google.
Would you like a word that's original?
Indeed. Right, let's get that bit. Jesus Christ. What is considered by many to be the most haunted village in the United Kingdom, if not the world.
Literally swimming in ghosts. It's ridiculous.
Everywhere.
Can't get on the high street.
No, there's more ghosts than trees.
Yeah.
And it's a
Witherspoons is always full of ghosts, you know?
Yeah. Well, it's behind the back of the bar. Laser spirits.
At great prices.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah.
Pluckley is a picturesque but natural village in Kent, which has a population of over 1,000 people, if you count the spirits and the phantoms, which are said to lurk in every corner of the town, like some sort of demonic Pokemon Go. Which I've read this out earlier today, and that didn't cotton on to me. That was funny.
That's really funny.
However, the number rose dramatically. However, that number rises dramatically. Among the many haunted locations in the village is Dickybus Lane. That made me laugh. Is a multiple residents and tourists have encountered the horrific apparition of the schoolmaster hanging from a tree. It is said that it was at Dickybus's Lane that a school teacher took his own life by hanging himself shortly after World War One. His lifeless body remained dangling until it was discovered weeks after he was reported missing. A phantom highwayman, perhaps the most British kind of ghost there is, has been reported, apparently named Fright Lane. According to legends, the highwayman became involved in a battle at Fright Lane and met his end after the opponent pushed a sword so deep into his body that he came out the other end and pinned him against a tree. Pluckley's residents have frequently reported witnessing a horse-drawn cart moving through the streets, accompanied by the thunderous sound of the hooves on the cobblestones. The mysterious apparition has been spotted all around the village, but is most frequently seen at Malhamant's Hill. Bloody names. There are just a few manifestations which can be found in Pluckley's village. Anyone who wants a full experience of paranormal activity said to go in the area should visit Pluckley for themselves. But is warned this might prove an overwhelming for. So basically, go there if you want to. And as I said, we've been there a few times. This bit was a bit scary. It's a bit dark. It's a bit new.
Well, it's woods at night. I mean, it's not. Yeah. I didn't see anything untoward.
No, I think there's the whole because you're with drunken people. Yeah, so things are seen, but not seen, so to speak. And there was the whole, we've got to run out. I think I saw someone hanging from the tree. Hey, wasn't there? Was it?
Everyone was everywhere. We were like, I think we were the drivers.
Yeah.
And there were like pissheads running around in the woods. I mean, it was a laugh, but
don't get me that. It was always a bit of a.
The thing is, I think if you go into any woods, we were at the camping.
Yeah.
And we just went to the just woods, and we're in the woods. You'd see some shit.
Yeah.
You did, yeah. Imagination. And there's stuff that goes on. Your imagination fills the gaps in.
Imagination.
Yeah, I think so.
Pluckley.
Such a skeptic. It'd be more fun if I wasn't. But cynical bastard.
Cynical.
We should go back to Pluckley. We should get women to drive, and we can be the pissheads running through the woods.
Damn right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be like, I can see spirits in the woods. Like, you've fallen into some tree branches. You're looking at roots really close up. I'm like,
I've seen Groot.
Yes.
He's everywhere.
That would be really funny. Oh my God, Groot, you got so big. Yeah, okay, maybe not. But we do it anyway and be a laugh.
Yeah.
Alright, so, Constantine. I left you with Constantine.
Yes.
We're back with Emperor Constantine. He was a bit of a boy, right?
Mm.
Very pragmatic. I mean, I don't believe he's like, I have seen the Holy Spirit. No. He's just like, I want to stay in power. So I think I'm going to go with this. I'll go with the winning team, because Christianity seems to be got some good marketing behind it. But he's like, it's a bit too wishy-washy. I'm going to have to sort this out. So in 325 AD, he set up the first Council of Nicaea, which was the first ecumenical council of the church. They got all the bishops together and established many of the foundation doctrines of Christianity, including the Nicene Creed, which outlines all the core beliefs of the church. Now, that led to the formation of the canonized Bible, which I'm just going to go straight into. It's the next fact, but I'm just going to go straight to it because I think it's fascinating. So the Catholic Church played a significant role in determining which books would be included in the Bible. The Council of Nicaea was a series of bishops. Basically, he's like, okay, if I'm going to go with this church, I need it to work for me. So he's like, okay, I'm going to pick the bishops that are on my side, and he basically said, okay, you guys decide which. I want you to all sign off on this Bible, and they got all the books that they had of the Bible. So. By the late 4th century, the councils in Hippo and Carthage formalised the canon of the Old and New Testaments. 14 books are accepted as having been removed from the early Bible, but it may be as many as 22. Because they got them in, and some of them were like, nah, that doesn't quite gel, doesn't quite vibe with us. So they fucked them off, right? These books are called the Apocrypha, which meaning those are hidden, written in Greek. It applies to all that were removed from the Bible. There are many speculations as to why these books are omitted. Many hint Gnosticism, which is a more... I don't know. It's slightly more close to some of the pagan beliefs beforehand. Like it's like a pagan. It's more of a transitional religion, going straight from like paganism to Christianity. It's somewhere in between the two. So they're like, nope, we need it to be clear cut. And secular thinking. Basically like God's good and all that, but don't worry. But basically like stuff like that was more to do with being a good person rather than no. Do what you're told. Yeah, that's it. And would weaken the perceived authority of the church. And some, like the Book of Wisdom, which seemed to be much more philosophical in vibe and way less God heavy. So all the stuff that wasn't like God is good and the church is the word of God and the government of Rome specifically is basically it's all tied together. So they basically unified the church with the government and fucked with everything that didn't deal with that. And that the Bible you see today is the one that was largely agreed on by these buggers at that time, And again, that was the religion that effectively set the tone, and I suppose the moral teachings for the whole of Europe and then most of the world after that, from that point onwards. So it's kind of like that guy, that Constantine dude, had a hell of a influence on the world today.
Yeah.
Like that dude went in there and said, he's just vetoing and changing all these books of the Bible, so that no, I don't like that one. No, that's gonna actually that'll fuck us. Get rid of that. That one's a bit this. So there's 20. There's all these books in the Bible, and 22 of them have been fucked off because they're like, that's a bit too wishy-washy, or that's a bit too floofy. That one says there's some about the church can be anywhere, and it's like no, it has to be in our building. Has to be our building. That we'll be passing out a plate. Put some money on it. It's all just it's all. It's very It's like a Diddy party. They're like, no, you can't have a party anywhere. You have to have the party around Diddy's house, right?
Oh no!
And the Catholic Church in this instance is Diddy, so and a lot of lube, mate.
Oh no!
More lube than you should have, really.
Oh no!
If you need that much lube, it's not a good party.
No, there ain't no party like that. No. So let's go. Let's go.
I saw this quote today. This is fucked up, right?
Quotes.
And it was about one of it was a purported friend of Diddy's, right? And he was defending Diddy, but basically he was arguing. He sort of said, he goes, no, Diddy's not gay. He didn't fuck guys because he liked to fuck guys. He did it for power. And it was like, you're defending your buddy. He's like, no, you don't understand, buddy. You don't understand, right? He got a kick out of it. He just, he wasn't gay. He just liked to dominate people, and that was his way of doing it. I'm like, this is how you defend your friend, right? Oh. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
No, that's no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel bad for Bieber now. That poor boy. Anyway, fucking hell. Tell me about Scary Woods. I don't care anymore. The world's too horrible.
So what we're going to do now, I'm going to go quite close to home.
Oh dear.
One of my hometowns.
I'll get the lube.
Strood. The Strood curse. And again, this is Strood in Kent, not the other one. Strood, the Strood curse.
Is it the Strood? The Stroud?
Yeah, I think it's spelled almost the same thing. Oh, Stroud, and it's like, that's up north, isn't it?
Up north, yeah. It's probably way less, I don't know, incest.
Well, you're going to see.
Strood's horrible. Anyway, Strood High Street might be the saddest place in like...
The Woolworths when the Woolworths went, and the Pick and Mix, and the other places, then it's never the same. It was never the same. Rest of the world's still there. That dodgy fucking calf.
Wimpy's still there.
Yeah.
How's Wimpy still there?
I don't know, because I thought when I used to work in Maidstone, there's another Wimpy that's not in a petrol station.
I've not been to Wimpy in. I might have gone when I was like single digits,
Yeah.
But I kind of want to go.
They used to do a donut thing when the dessert is like a brown derby or something, and it's a donut with loads of ice cream. That was my go-to the whole time. And yeah.
I just don't think I can't remember ever going to Wimpy. No, I do, because I remember someone was eating a burger with a knife and fork, and I was just like, "What's happening?" Because they give you like proper knife and fork at the table.
Yeah. And
you just then they serve a burger, and then people were eating. I was like, "What's happening?" Anyway, sorry, that was so random. Strood though, Strood. Sorry.
The Strood curse, according to the legend.
Strood curse. You live in Strood. No.
It makes more sense when you hear. According to the legend, Thomas Becket was once riding through Strood when a member of the De Brock family cut off his horse's tail.
Oh no!
This likely upset Becket.
Yeah, I thought so.
And he is said to have retaliated by cursing the population of Strood to be born with tails.
That tracks so far, yeah.
Yeah. I had my tail obviously docked. So I mean,
you kept it there, right?
Yeah, it's in a jar somewhere in the loft.
Yeah.
But then with Strood, because these are part of my minifans. The three crutches in Strood. Some people say crutches. I say crutches. CIUTCH is. The phantom dressed in the fine clothes is said to haunt the Three Crutches Inn. He has been seen observing the public from the upstairs window and walking through a wall in the dining room. Yeah. A couple of little haunted street facts. So if you're local and you listen to podcasts, you know, you can, if you got a tale, go to the pub. That's the
rule?
Yeah.
If you have a tail, go to the pub.
Go to the Three Crutches and you get a free pint of every tail.
I'm going to get a fake tail crafted on. I'll go and get my jar. I was born in Chatham. Good old Chatham.
I was born there. I was born there and I just lived in Strood. I was born at All Saints.
There are a few places you could be born in Chatham and then move back to which are downgrade from Chatham. And you found one.
I didn't find it. I didn't go, wow, let's go to Strood.
No, I know. But like, let's go home. We're like, but, I mean, can we just stay in Chatham? Which I thought I'd never say.
Well, what's it?
I mean, there ain't much in it. It's you know.
I need to find out the history, how I ended up in Strood. Because I know my mother be from France, my pappy originally from Ireland, but he was working over and...
There's a mutual downgrade. You know, it's like, I come from the land of vineyards and you know.
I could have been in the Emerald Isles.
Yeah.
I could have been having an accent and a thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I could have been on Father Ted.
Paddy Jams.
Oh, Paddy Jams.
Paddy Jams.
I think that's going to be a new...
I don't know why,
accent.
but I imagine you'd be a better drummer as well. I think you'd be better. I don't know why. I think that natural... musical... You'd have a ukulele.
I'd have one of those round drums that you hold
Pass
one
me
hand
shillelagh.
and stick.
You'd have a shillelagh. You'd walk around with a shillelagh.
On my shoe. Shillelagh on my shoe and I do buckles. I had a buckle in the shoe.
Your parents fucked up.
No.
Give your dad a slap.
Yeah.
You stole me and my birthright, you fucking asshole.
Take me back to the wee land of where you be from.
I'm going back. I want you to take me back and raise me as a child all over again. Going back to school. He done a guff in my room, he did. Just shat on my dog's head, he did. Or he's shat on his ass, I don't know.
Yeah, sorry.
Anyway, it's fine. Everyone's fine today. It's Halloween.
Halloween.
Ghoulish gas.
Is it actually Halloween day today? No. Almost.
No, Thursday. Then it's Halloween. It is Halloween. Halloween. Alright.
Fact-ins.
Alright, so the heading of this one is called Latin is the liturgical language. Now, I googled liturgical because I don't know what that word is. And it's relating to liturgy. Did that help at all?
Liturgy, no.
Basically, liturgy is public worship. So it's the language of public worship, which is relevant.
Okay.
Alright. You good? You submitted your question.
No, I was just checking something on my phone quickly, and then liturgy. So I'm just trying to think where it would come from, because then you got liturgy as in literature, so that would come from that side. And I'm trying to think whether
it's all to do with language.
Yeah.
It's all just but basically in public worship, there's loads of. But anyway, so Latin became the official language of the Catholic Church, especially after it became the official language of the Roman Empire. So because obviously Latin was already the standardised language. Not only did they promote it, they also shut down everything that wasn't that.
Shut it down.
This helped unify the church, but it also later led to challenges as few people understood Latin, because it was very much, there was a class gap. You had to be educated, which enabled the clergy to control the narrative, as translations outside of Latin were heavily restricted for many centuries. The Roman Catholic Church executed William Tyndale in 1536 because he translated the Bible into English. Okay. He basically said, all these people can't fucking read the Bible. Only the priests can read the Bible, and they're the ones controlling the narrative. So they can't. They not only are they telling you what it says, they're telling you what it means. So that's not right. I need to translate it. So he translated it, right? And he was not just executed, right? He was tried for heresy, right? Because they said it's heretical. You've made the Bible unclean by turning it into this nasty English language, right?
Nasty.
Because at that point, English was more widely understood than most other languages in Europe. He was choked, impaled, and then burned at the stake.
Okay.
Today, roughly 83% of the New Testament in the King James Bible is his translation. In the English language one, as he did that.
Okay.
So they fucked him over for heresy, and then they used his words, and eventually they just conferred them. And 76% of the Old Testament is also his translation. So yeah, I'm just saying it was kind of fucked. They did that. That was like they were so about controlling the narrative. They controlled the interpretations of the Bible. So they were like, not only can they control what you hear of it, because they were like, all right, we're going to talk about this bit of the Bible today. This bit over here might empower you to think that you've got any independence away from the church. We don't want you to think that. So we're going to control. You can't just read the Bible and then take away what you want to take away from it, like you can any other book.
Yeah.
Like, no. So because there's this literally this class divide, unless you are educated, only people who know several languages will ever learn Latin. And there was because no one was speaking Latin. And the only reason you'd ever need to know Latin is if you're, I don't know, a monarch, or you're in the Catholic Church. So only people on the very highest tier in society would know how to speak or understand Latin, and they're the ones controlling what all the poor lower orders, basically their takeaways from the Bible are all controlled by these. And it was just a fucked up way to kind of maintain control. And this guy come in and he basically said, here you go, I've translated it because everyone should know this. And he got horribly killed. And I just think, fucking, I just finished my beer, but I was going to raise a drink for that guy, because I'm like, he's like, he took one for the team, man.
Air drink.
I got a little bit left. Hang on.
Yeah.
Fucking, was it William Tyndale? William Tyndale.
The inventor of Tinder.
Yeah. He's a bit of a ledge. And yeah, I was William Tyndale or Tyndale, 1536, horribly killed, Catholic Church. Bunch of cunts, because he did one. That was, I would argue, a very human thing he did, and it was ultimately for the greater good, and it also weakened the church's grip on everyone, which is only a good thing, because fuck those guys, bunch of little kiddie fuckers. Anyway,
you say educated people speak Latin. Is it? Yeah.
Not pig Latin.
I peaks by Latin there.
There we go. I know exactly where you're going.
Ixnay on the ombre and all that shaz.
Yes. Of course, dem. I think that's basically Latin as well.
Yes.
Truth dem.
That's street Latin.
Street Latin, yeah.
I've got a long one.
Go on.
Oh, fact. Oh, sorry.
Oh,
fact.
sorry. Oh, wait a second. I've got to get out a second cock. It's like, I've got another one. Oh my god.
The jewel
This is Halloween.
That's got to be. Is that Christmas or Halloween or both?
They've kind of. That's kind of why that film did so well, because they're like,
Oogie Boogie.
I'd never seen the Oogie Boogie bit until the other day.
Oh, really?
I'd never seen it. I thought I'd seen that film 100 times, and I put it on for the kids. And I watched it, and I looked at Oogie Boogie, and I realised, like, this is completely unfamiliar to me. I've never got this far in the film. And then I realised, like, oh, this is boring. This is a fucking boring film, because I've turned it off halfway through at least 10 times, because I've definitely seen the first half of that film many times, and I've never watched the second half. So I'm watching it, I'm like, wow, I've never seen this before. And then I keep checking it, going like, how long's left? More somehow. Oh my god. And yeah, I thought I broadly liked that film, and then I realised, like, I never knew how it concluded. And it came out, was it 93? I wouldn't have watched that at home, because my mum was very staunchly against anything that was sort of irreligious, and she that wouldn't have gone down in my house, wouldn't have been a thing, right? So I only watched that as an adult, and I think if you watch it as a kid, it's a different vibe. I think that's why a lot of kids, they're onto that shit. I watch it as an adult, I'm like, what? Just doesn't hit.
No.
So I appreciate it. I didn't hate the songs, but a lot of the rest of it is like, fucking hell, still. It just feels like a long film. And very pretty though. Very kind of atmospheric and cool. But anyway, sorry. This is Halloween. Tell me a story.
The Bluebell Hill Ghost. Or ghosts, plural. So as we enter the spooky season, which is very relevant to this podcast, The main road linking Medway to Maidstone has been the topic of many ghostly sightings over the years.
A229.
And it all started back in 1965. On November 19, Susan Brown and her two friends tragically died in a car crash. The 24-year-old was returning from a night when her Ford Cortina, bloody hell, spun out of control on the A229.
There you go.
Colliding with a Jaguar heading in the other way. Susan was due to marry RAF technician Brian Watton the following day.
Oh man.
Despite the common belief that she had died on the road, it was actually her friend Judith Langham who passed away there. Miss Brown and Patricia Ferguson died a few days later in Maidstone Hospital. But the tragedy had also left a mysterious legacy, with unexplained visions being reported throughout the 1960s and 70s on the site, although the ghostly sightings are said to have dated even further back to the 1930s. For the 50th anniversary of the crash, a number of spiritual believers gathered outside the Lower Bell pub nearby.
Oh yeah. It's up the road.
Up the road. So Sonia Roseman, a filmmaker, released a drama entitled The Ghost of Bluebell Hill.
Really?
Yeah, this is the thing. That I was like, I've never heard of that film.
No, I never
before.
heard of that film. I watched the fuck out of that.
Yeah, I'd definitely have a watch to get more of that after sort of reading this sort of stuff. So the 39-year-old from Rochester said, "I think it's frightening people it's frightening people way too much to talk about it, but there's still things going on up there." When it was the 50th anniversary of the paranormal teams picked up some weird stuff. That's fucking Yvette Fielding and stuff, isn't it? And
yeah, she's like, oh my god, just shaking cameras and screaming.
Yeah. They had this device that meant you could hear ghosts and picked up some voices screaming and shouting for help. I just think the whole place was tragic, and there was such a bad feeling there. Miss Roseman filmed shorts of her movie along the road and carried out extensive research onto the history of the area. She said there had been a motorcycle crash just days before the filming, so it's still going on these days. There's always something, honestly.
There's always crashes on that road.
It's a shit road. There's a lot of people who didn't want me to make the film because they were worried something would happen to me. So I guess she still says, when I was researching it, I put pictures in my kitchen, and just days later my flat burnt down, but the pictures weren't destroyed. I thought it just got to make this film. As there she shows, the road is just really eerie, nasty mood. The whole place was a bad karma about it. Every time I go down there, I hear I have to pinch myself, so nothing would happen. And yeah, in 1972, Bob Vandpier said he gave a lift to a girl on the hill, only later turned around and discovered the hitchhiker had vanished.
Oh no.
In 1971, James Skeen was driving home from work, and a girl in her early 20s suddenly appeared in front of his car. He gave her a lift to Chatham, but when she got out, she disappeared. There's also been stories of the girl who stared straight into the eyes of the drivers as she stepped out of the road, out into the road, unable to stop the car crashing into her. But when the driver checks to see if she's okay, she had vanished. They've always been. I mean, they've even on like the village pages and stuff. They say, "Oh, we're going to do some ghost walks and stuff along." There's always something going on with Bluebell Hill. It's not a nice road.
I think there's so many videos of Bluebell Hill.
But yeah, I'd have to watch that little film documentary thing.
I searched for that, and there's like a million shorts about. But they made a last year. They made like a video short. Starring some actual actresses, but but anyway, I'll look into that. I'm gonna try and find that.
Cool.
Ghost of Bluebell Hill movie trailer. All right, I'll play that and pause it for later so I know what it is. Okay. Interesting. We should go there. We should camp in the.
Oh no!
Oh no.
No.
Oh no.
Yeah, I think camping in the in Strange is a bit odd.
Camping what?
Camping in Strange. So if it's not like a campsite or going rogue,
It's a bit pikey, isn't it?
I think I'm too pretty.
Yeah. Ghosts get you.
Ghosts,
Stragglers.
locals, yeah.
Yeah, locals. Plus, you probably get hit by a car. So it's just what happens around there.
If you don't have to camp in the road either, because the cars will fly off and they'll go and they'll get you.
No,
So,
you did the roads. The roads are the safest part of Blue Hill.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that we you should know. We live quite close to Blue Hill. That every time I go on that road, there's a lane closed because some fuckers gone flying somehow. I don't know what it is. It's just something about.
It's because it's 2 lanes and it's like I'm trying to go to work and you get to the bottom bit where the bridge goes over where there's always like a copper on top trying to speed trap you. And it's you can't go fast enough.
They did a speed trap there, and that's the one bit where there's never any accidents.
Yeah.
It's like, do it up the top when everyone dies all the time.
Yeah.
You know, like Death Corner. Do it there, but no. We know where it goes from 50 to 70.
Yeah.
We're going to catch you there, mate, because we'll make more money that way. I'm like, how about save lives?
Yeah.
You bastards. You pig bastard. Okay. Anyway.
Let's Christianity facts bit. He's bald under his armpit.
Stop tickling his armpit, you weird bastard.
Sorry.
He's groping my dog.
It's his armpit.
He's treating him like an altar boy, and he's a Catholic priest. Fucking hell. Sing for me.
Bow wow.
From the 3rd century onwards, Christian monasticism, sorry, I knew that word as well, monasticism flourished, with monks and nuns dedicating their lives to spiritual practices. Monasticism is the monasteries and the act of having these monasteries. Again, it's a way of segregating the religious folk from the regulars, right? Because like a monastery is funded effectively by the public, but they're not welcome there, and then they're gifted land. And they use to grow crops and stuff, which they then sell. And they'll make beer or wine, whatever the fuck, and then they'll sell it on, make the money, don't pay tax on it, and it's just another way. And you go there, and there's a friary around the corner, and they still have, to this day, people go there, and they live in isolation. They walk around in robes, and
they're random. They always ask how you are.
Well, they talk to you, and I'm like, the thing is, they're wearing like. They've got robes on, and they have these big like drawstring they're like those things you tie like tie backs from a fucking curtain around their waist. But they've also got iPhones and Crocs on, but they're there and they look around and they're pious as fuck. They have their hands behind them like bouncers, and they walk around the place. And I'm like, what the fuck are you for, son? Right? You know, you're there. You're acting all holier than now. You have this arrogance to you, strutting around like a. And I'm like, you come here and you don't do what, right? You don't fucking contribute. You don't do shit. You don't work. You don't help anyone. You're not like. I mean, like at least if you're like, I feel like God has called me and I'm going to be a priest and I want to help people and like you do confessional and all that. I think it's still a bit of a wanky life choice, but it's still because effectively you're like. To go in front of a congregation of people who have their own lives and have their own and tell them how to live their life is a bit of a wanky thing to do. But at the very least, you're interacting with people. But these guys, they go out there, live in isolation. They don't fucking help. They don't pay tax. They don't help doing anything. They don't fucking live their lives. They don't fucking meet people. They don't contribute. They don't fucking wank, for fuck's sake, right? They're not like. They don't help in any way, and then they walk around with this like this arrogance and this like self-belief in their piety, and I just think they're the most fucking pretentious, up their own arse people in the world. So that's how I feel about people in monasteries and friaries and stuff, right? Go on.
But if I walk down the high street wearing a robe, right, only one gust of wind, I get arrested. I don't get it. And I've told you to stop doing it, mate. But anyway, this is today. Back in the day, monasteries became centres for learning, helping preserve classical knowledge through Middle Ages. Back then,
you've had people who in the church who were educated to a much higher standard than the regular people, because it's before there was like one university at this point, but like higher learning wasn't a thing. You had tutors for literal like princes and shit, right? People of the highest, the top of the fucking heap. Everyone else is thick as pig shit, right? So they're there, and you're in you join a monastery, right? You get educated in a way that no one else does. You learn this, and then literally your job at that point, you've become educated to this very high degree. Your job, the most precious job there is to effectively photocopy old books by rewriting them out again in beautiful, beautiful calligraphy. But that's your job, and you do that for your entire life. But at least you're doing something, right? You're sitting there, you're making wine, and you're copying books out. And sure, okay, and books that are there today, knowledge that we have today, it's because it was preserved by the people who did that. Fair play. But I'm just saying, like, these cunts today, we got photocopiers now, cunt. You can go home. You can go and get a job, you know? Go and work down South East Water and deal with the complaints line, you prick. So so they used to start to do that, and that was what they were for. But and also like the Black Death, I've talked about this another one I think, where basically when the Black Death happened, and well there were a few plagues over the years, but the Black Death especially, because there had to be given last rites, and the Catholic priests were sent in. So this is when they basically were running out of priests. All the people who were qualified to give last rites, i.e. those who knew Latin, were sent into all these like death houses to give last rites to all these fucking people dying covered in sores, and of course they all got sick and they all died.
Yeah.
So after that point, the higher education side of the church was basically wiped out. There was a huge gap in the knowledge base. So they just had okay, we just hire a bunch of fucking morons and pedos, and they just got them in there. And then all of a sudden you've got these monasteries still. They're just full of a bunch of cunts who just basically yeah, no, I did a bunch of crimes and I'm trying to hide. So they're just in the church now. And you just got criminals, cretins, and inbreds. They're families would quite often fuck off their embarrassment of a son, chuck him in the church, fuck him off, disappear him, right? It was just a way of hiding him, and then you just brag about him, oh, my son Tobias is in the church, he's in the monastery. Oh, is he? Well, he always was a smart one. And no, he wasn't, mate. He had teeth sticking out of his cheek. He was an abomination. Fucking hell. But anyway, that I may have gone a bit off the deep end, but still, monasteries. That was the formation of monasteries, and that was a major part of Catholic teaching, and it became a standard, and they became sort of a lot of money, a lot of the formation of these things. They've built churches all around the countries, and they built in all countries. This was across all of Europe and beyond. They had monasteries and churches. Monasteries were the places where a lot of the knowledge and the Catholic Church was propagated, it was carried on, and it was where a lot of the rich people would put their I suppose a legacy. You'd have I don't know, a bunch of kids, and you'd have maybe two sons, right? Yeah, okay, this one is the older one, he inherits all the shit. This one, I don't have anything for him to do, so I chuck him in the church. And because he's in the church, and it's it looks good on me, so a lot of money is then going into the church. They're almost there in ransom. They're almost there we've got your son, and you can brag about him being in the church, but we're going to need some money to keep you in God's good graces. So you have these rich families, and they're indebted to the church, and literally there's this connection between all the higher families in across the land, across France, Italy, Spain, England, and it was a way of sort of strengthening the church, and monasteries were a way of doing that. And it was a fairly clever situation, but it was a weird one. And so that was the main thing about that. But the side fact, a 2008 study suggested that most practicing Catholics are 100% ignoring the Church's teaching on contraception and sex.
So getting out.
Sorry, a 2008 study discovered that almost all practicing Catholics are ignoring the Church's teaching on contraception and sex.
Okay.
So no condoms and straight up the arse. I'm getting another beer. I'll be right back. Mwah. Are you ready to bring some serious flavour to the table? Then it's time to talk about ham! That's right, ham. Perfect centerpiece for any meal, any occasion. Juicy, tender, and oh so delicious. Ham is here to make your taste buds dance. Whether it's a holiday feast or a weeknight dinner, ham makes every meal feel special. And with that smoky, savoury flavour, there's no end to the possibilities. Sandwiches, charcuterie boards, breakfast scrambles, ham takes to the next level. And let's not forget about the mouth-watering golden brown glaze. Oh, it's fucking sexy. With honey, brown sugar, even a spicy kick, every bite is pure joy. So what are you waiting for? Make your next meal unforgettable with ham, the heart of every table. Available at your local store now. Ham! Bringing people together one slice at a time. I have got a drink now. I'm recording again. Jambo didn't warn you, not even a bit, no.
I got my coffee too.
Okay, I got...
Oh, hello.
So it's your factual. Then I got one big pile of, and then we're clear and good and clear. And good and clear.
And I remember to get my old man glasses.
What? Wow. Mate, covered in those originals.
Let me tell you a story about the haunted place of the Dover Castle.
Dover Castle. Classic, that mate, that scared shit out of me, that castle. Not because of the ghosts, but because of the stairs.
Yeah, that's the thing. I remember Rochester Castle. There's one part, really small sort of stairwell, and a really fucking steep stairs.
It's so steep, and all the stairs have worn off, and for some reason it's fine. I was going out there with Jackson when he was little, he was like 3 or 4, and I'm like, he's gonna fall down like a whole like this spiral staircases to the floor, and he'll crack his head open. I'm just like holding him so tight. He's like, Dad, you're squeezing my hand. I'm like, yeah, mate, yeah. It's because I'm terrified for you. Anyway,
so my fact session. Dover Castle.
Special. Oh,
The road. Oh dear.
clear the throat, old man.
The royal 12th century Dover Castle has played in history of the United Kingdom cannot be understated. Sorry. Throughout the centuries, it has protected Britain from a number of formidable forces, including the army of Napoleon Bonaparte. During World War II, it was used as a command centre and was frequently visited by former British Prime Minister Winston Churchill.
Winston
Churchill. Dover Castle has been so crucial in Britain's various battles that it had been dubbed the key to England, and there's only there's no "and" in there. I'm adding words. Jesus.
So
it only makes sense then that the castle had been home to some pretty powerful paranormal forces.
Oh shit, son.
A number of visitors have encountered the terrifying spirit of the headless drummer boy, who is believed to have been decapitated during a robbery at the castle several hundred years ago. The boy is seen moving through Dover Castle carrying not his head, but his drum, which he bangs on incessantly.
Ba-da-ba-bum-bum.
He's a Christmas song. He's a Dover Christmas song.
Yeah.
There are several underground tunnels beneath the castle, which proved useful during the Second World War.
I've been down them.
See, I want to. I kind of don't want to because I'm pussbag and I think I'll be scared. But I think underground tunnels is like fuck. That's like video games.
It's cool. You can go down there. It's cool. We went down there with the kids. It's fucking sweet. Yeah, that's really cool. They're big.
You underestimate how much of a pussy I am. Honestly, turn the lights off. Tried to shoelace. I'm fucked.
It's a snake.
Nah, there's 2 of them. It's like Medusa footwear. There are several underground tunnels beneath the castle which proved useful during the Second World War. It is in these tunnels that the spirit of the British soldier appeared, often times screaming in pain or crying for the life they knew before the war. Haunted rooms have held a number of overnight ghost haunts at Dover Castle in the past and will likely be doing so again. So anyone who wants to search for the castle... Jesus.
Sorry.
So anyone who wants to search the castle for themselves should be sure to keep checking our events page for updates. No, should be sure to keep checking.
Sorry, you really solved that.
Yeah. So shit comes itself because basically it could be Halloween. So I'm sure it comes up on Facebook and all those sorts of things.
Yeah, I'm sure it does.
So I've seen those things before, and there's like the Tower of London is always a big thing as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, honestly,
A lot of headless fuckers. A lot of them.
headless fuckers, and that was
They save money on wax that way.
yeah. That's
Madame Tussauds. Fuck this.
I knew what you meant, though, right?
Yeah.
Well, that place did freak me out a little bit, Madame Tussauds.
I thought since I was little, I should probably take the kids down there.
And then once,
twice,
3 times, ghost story.
woo.
I've got once you've done the thing. I've got one other thing, a couple of little mini factations just to read out. They're tiny.
Alright, so I will spaphulise this quickly, okay? So before I get into the heavy shit, I'm going to go one more good thing for the church before I shit all over them and rub it up the walls. The Catholic Church was instrumental in founding some of the earliest universities in Europe, like those in Paris and Bologna? Yeah. Bologna. Additionally, many clergy members, including monks, contributed significantly to fields such as astronomy, medicine, and philosophy. Much as the Muslim sectors had advanced science centuries earlier, before the Mongol invasion basically wiped all the... Yeah, it caused the Mongol invasion of Middle Eastern countries, and basically that reformed the whole of society, and they just became very xenophobic, and they shut off most religious... But they were the heads of science. That's why most stars have Arabic names, and the Catholic Church was doing a lot of the same work. Like a lot of early science, especially in the sort of the Renaissance, was where they were religious people that did them because they were the higher educated people. So if you had higher education, you were probably in the church. So that was why a lot of scientists were Christian scientists, and that was not. Whereas today, that's kind of like, if you're a Christian scientist, you're like, oh, you're full of shit then. It's like, but anyway, but effectively, yeah, they did a lot of good in fields of science, somewhat, at some point. There you go, you got a point. Now, let me take it away. Here are the controversies over the years. Some of them, I should say because they've done, I'm not even covering the fact that they sided with Hitler during the Second World War, that they sanctioned the Holocaust in a lot of ways, not to mention all the people that they killed over the... Anyway, let's get on to it. So, broadly, they repressed any controversial and sanctioned facts as opinions immediately as heresy, which generally would lead to the death of the person saying it. As soon as you've said the heresy, you put that heresy stamp on it, they're fucked. And anyone who related to them as well. It would effectively be, because of the power of the church was so strong, that if someone was dubbed heretical, not only were they probably either going to prison for life or killed, but the family, their friends, sometimes even whole towns would be tar with the same brush. So that was the power of the church in its heyday, and how heavily they swung that fucking sword. The Crusades were sanctioned by the church as an indulgence. Political and religious reasoning for this was pretty blatant, and it led to the death of countless Muslims, Slavs, Mongols, and also many other people that may have been an enemy of the Pope at the time. It's arguable these conflicts are still influential in the Middle East issues that we are facing today. I've got to get to it. Sexual abuse. Since the accusations of 2002, there have been literally countless accusations, many of which have been settled outside of court across the Catholic Church in many countries. This is made all the worse by the constant cover-ups and the managing of these predators over the years. Some of the highest members in the church have been tied to this cover-up, and it's as much a problem today as it has been historically. The highest level is the previous Pope, the guy who Benedict, the guy who resigned.
Oh,
before the current dude, he resigned as Pope, which is, I think, I've never known it to happen before. They've always just died in position.
Yeah.
But he was been tied to a lot of. He was controlling. He was the head of the department in the church that basically moves Pope priests around once they've got caught diddling.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, we got caught, move them over there. They didn't punish them. They were just hiding them, moving them around so they couldn't be tied to the crimes. So he'd keep moving these priests around the place, so they just like pedo a bit over there, then we put them over there, so they pedo a bit, chuck them over in Brazil, they pedo a bit over there, so they just send them on, like, just moving them around, because he never wanted to because if they kicked him out of the church, it would make them look bad, the church look bad. So he was always trying to protect the church. Anyway, so that is, you could do a whole podcast just on the sexual abuse scandals. It's fucking insane. I read a huge article. It is horrifying. It's so much worse than I thought it was. Anyway, indigenous residential schools. Now, these were schools across Canada and a number of US states that were Native American children were taken from their families and re-educated against their will of their parents. They were taught Christianity and how to live as good Christians. There are so many cases of abuse and deaths within these schools. A lot of people never saw their family again once they were taken. Horrible shit. And this was in the early 20th century. This wasn't that long ago. They were still doing it then.
That's a bit of a surprise.
Horrible shit. Corruption of European governments / monarchies. Through the use of indulgences, which, if you don't know, indulgence is basically the church will give you an official sanction to do something that is otherwise prohibited by the church. That's why the Crusades. It's an indulgence. That's thou shalt not kill, but we say it's okay because of, in that instance, you're going to kill a bunch of Muslims and they're basically the enemy of the church. So go on him. So they give you an indulgence and it's all good. So, but also there was indulgences for the longest time could be bought. Or for favour, there were favours. It might not be money, but you might buy it with, okay, we're going to help the church out in this way, or we're going to, throw money or build you a new church over here, or some new fucking monastery or something. Okay, well then you get an indulgence, you get to go and do a war, or you get to go and do this. So monarchs and stuff were influenced heavily. So use of indulgences and blackmail. The Catholic Church pitted countries against each other, always with the end game of being to maintain Catholic influence and security across Europe, as well as financial goals. Now, you could argue broadly that was for the good of Europe as a stability, because there was a certain amount of stability by having a focal point across all the major powers of Europe, because Spain, France, England, and obviously Italy and Germany were all largely controlled by the Catholic Church, but it was pretty fucked. The Ottoman Empire was on the brink, so they would try and swing them over, but you had a lot more. Although there was a different church, there was a different Catholic Church in Russia, but anyway, it was pretty fucked. So that is just a handful of the controversial things that have happened over the years, and again, I didn't get into. I've mentioned the Holocaust and celebrating Hitler's birthday. That was a thing they did do.
Jesus Christ.
And not to mention all the people that they sent out as missionaries that did all fucked up things. They were fans of I think it was the King of Belgium, who basically killed like half of the Congo, and Mother Teresa. And she I've talked about her before.
Yeah, very surprised about that.
She was she probably meant well, but she did some fucked up shit. And I mean, you could argue just the banning contraception in Africa, the AIDS situation in Africa, like how many fucking thousands, millions of people have died because of that. Because it's like the contraceptions were there, like they were sort of saying, here, have some pills, have some condoms, and they were like, no, the church said we shouldn't, so I'm gonna try and get rid of my AIDS by fucking a virgin. That's because that's what they thought. They didn't have any options, because they were like, it was largely no education system. They didn't know any better, and they had these white saviours come over and say, do this, no, don't do that, and they're like, oh, I guess he knows what he's talking about. And and it's like, no, this bit of rubber would have saved your life, mate, but no, don't do that, because every sperm is sacred.
Every sperm is sacred.
Anyway,
that's a good song.
I will finish on that line because it's a cracking song, like you say.
I was going to say, can't find it on there.
Okay, I'll kill some time with it. Are you playing our old podcast?
No, I was going to say, when you was talking about the whole contraception, I was just trying to find where it was.
Did we cover it before?
We did. Where is it? It is one of our titles. One of our titles.
We done contraception?
No, only one thing. Oh, there you go. Crocodile dung-filled vaginas.
Oh, yeah.
Contraception.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I don't think the Catholic Church ever banned that.
Episode 20, listen, episode 20, Whiskey, Wine and Wisdom, yeah.
Mate, we've covered it all. We've got some shit.
Yeah. I think we've expressed our knowledge to the world.
I've just got an email which might just shut this whole thing down, because I'll read it out to you, right? From Tam Choi, which is his email is tamchoi@chakrabarto@bose.res.in. I thought you'd be interested in this private project proposal of 150 million euro. If you wish to know more, please don't hesitate to reach out. Regards. And that's it. It stops. So I'm going to be rich, so I will be out of here. So
have I not got that email?
Nope. Fuck this podcast. I'm done, son. Bye.
Oh, okay. So welcome to Whiskey James No Wisdom. This is Dan's laptop. I've got no fucking idea what I'm doing.
Oh, fucking it. I'll hang around for you, mate. But, you know.
Oh, cheers, buddy.
Yeah. me and Ram Choi Bingle, whatever his name was, you know.
Last week, Dan quit the podcast.
Thing is, I get emails all the time. I get hundreds a day, right? Probably. Well, not hundreds, but I get a lot, right? For some reason, that one, it notified me of that one. Maybe you put a priority on it or something. For some reason, my phone was like, you need to know about this one. And it was even tagged as spam, so I don't know. Anyway, Rando, finish your thoughts.
Yeah, so...
Because I am concluded, I'm done. Finished all over myself.
I only had a couple of little ting on the hauntiness.
Hauntiness.
Yeah.
Haunt dem.
Chatham Historical Dockyards.
Dockyards are a bit spooky.
The ghost of Lord Nelson is said to haunt the Chatham Historical Dockyard.
Nah.
Though no one knows why.
Yeah, I was going to say he didn't die there, he didn't live there.
Exactly. But
apparently he weren't there. Boats though, and he was on a boat historically, so...
It's not Lord Nelson, it's Billy the Squid, that's all it is. It's
Billy the Squid.
He's walking around, get a quid, get a squid.
Have you got £2? £2. He asked £2, didn't he? He was asked £2. That was always the thing. He asked for £2, I haven't got £2, here's £1. And he's like, I've got £1 off you. You're like, God damn it. I'd have given you 20p otherwise.
That's a sales technique though, you go over,
genius,
so when you
mate.
get anything underneath. Yeah.
Genius.
The woman is also said to haunt the site, which some visitors claim that she has prodded and poked them if they were not walking fast enough. That's my missus. That's just... Come on, James. That's it.
That's just because you. She likes poking you.
Yeah, I hate it. Fucking hate it. Chatham...
She's slacking her off, like, she treats me bad.
She's lovely.
She beats me.
Right, been together since 2005, married since 2013. But she pokes me. Fuck's sake, honestly. Jamie Carl's next. Take a lie detector. Did you poke James? No. The lie detector says you did. Whoa!
Oh shit, son. I've got little legs and little arms. I can't walk any faster. Why are you being so mean, Kate?
There you go. That wasn't Dan doing an impression. That was me actually whinging like a little bitch. That was me talking then. Right, my other little fact. The London Royal... London? Bloody hell. The Theatre Royal, Chatham. The ghost is said to haunt the Theatre Royal, Chatham. With several sightings in the 20th century, the paranormal being was seen watching shows. If he likes it, he will stay. If not, he will stand up and walk out. The building is also said to be haunted by a woman in a long evening dress, and others said they had experienced mild poltergeist activity in the building. I tried looking at what that mild poltergeist activity was, and there wasn't anything. It was a bit... It's like... they're telling me this is like...
You mean some shit fell over once? They're like, poltergeist, it's our building, isn't it?
Basically, they saw like a close-up on Yvette Fielding's face while she's like...
I'm so scared. I'm so scared.
But then Derek, I got a friend here.
There's definitely some shit happened in this room. Fucking hell.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm all done. I'm all out.
So... Basically, the conclusion is that Kent is teeming.
Yeah.
Teeming. Like a tick-infested wound.
Yeah.
With ghosts. And poltergeist, or poltergeist. I don't know what the plural of poltergeist is. Poltergeist.
Rah, 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 rah.
It's terrifying. Ghost geese, mate.
Fuck that.
Fuck you up. Serrated beaks. Of the two subjects, I mean, I think the Catholic Church is probably more of an actual risk. But... Yeah, I sort of realised afterwards, I'm like putting all the bad shit right at the end, sort of, it leaves you with the sound. Oh, James, something's happening.
Oh no, I was going to sneeze, but
he
it's a
lost
teaser.
the sneeze.
That's prick
His
juice.
eyes,
Oh.
is the pre-sneeze, his eyes fully recessed into his head. He had like hollow sockets where his eyes are, and then they just come back out and he looks sad now.
I'm like a snail. That's what happens when you don't sneeze, you turn into snail.
Yeah, no, that's where snails come from.
Mm.
They're like, oh, that was Colin. He was going to sneeze and he couldn't, and now he's a snail.
Yeah.
Crack. Oh, sorry, Colin. Anyway, on that bold narrative choice, I'm going to say good night to you all.
Good night, thank you for listening to the podcast which is glistening with lots of frights and lots of jokes about the church. I hope you don't lurch. Bye, love you, bye.
Drink Marmite. Bye.
Butt snacks! Butt snacks for the busy everyday person who doesn't have time to eat because of their workplace targets and deadlines. These handy tiny bite-sized snacks are packed with all the goodness for vitamins and nutrients that you need daily. You don't need to chew and swallow these snacks. You can just pop them straight up your butt, seeing as that's where their final destination will be anyhow. Take the time of chewing you have saved and impress your boss by completing that deadline targets and make sure those numbers do what they should. Butt snacks give you back that time you wasted chewing. Warning, may cause uncontrollable flatulence and stinging steeping piles. We say may cause, but we mean it will. Not suitable for llamas.
Hi, I'm James from the Carpool Celebrity Questionnaire as part of the Whiskey, Wine and Wisdom podcast. Hello! So today I have got not only one of the greatest, one of the best, but awesomest actors ever, Mr. Morgan Freeman. Round of applause, everybody! So, Morgan Freeman, would you like to say hello to everyone? Hello there, James. I am Morgan Freeman. Wow, that's such a commanding voice. Thank you, I know. What would you like to discuss about today? I don't know, you asked me on this program. Maybe I was going to talk about the sisters of Andy Dufresne. Well, we'll get to that later, Mr. Freeman. Oh, okay, James. How did you first get into acting? Well, you see, when I was a child, I always had this voice, very deep and commanding voice. Like when I was first born, I was ill. My mum was like, Morgan, baby, why are you so deep when you're crying? And I was like, wah, I'd like some food, please, mummy. But then I was noticed by a talent agency. Yes? Really? Well, how old was you then? I was only about 1 year old at the time. Only one. Wow. Did you star any films at that age? I only done some minor TV radio adverts. What advert did you first do then? Was it your choice or was it? No. Listen here, James. Listen here. Now, the advert was to do with baby formula. Because I had that commanding cry. They said, hey, Morgan Freeman, why don't you cry? And then tried to ask for some baby formula. So I was like, okay, I can do that. So the advert went, why are you crying, baby Morgan Freeman? I'm hungry there. Please can I have some of your top class baby formula? Oh, okay, here you are. And then they gave me the formula and I was like, oh, that's damn delicious. And that's how my career started. And of course, obviously, from going from a 1-year-old baby child advertising that to Shawshank Redemption, that's the natural progression. That's an amazing story. Wow, I did not know that about you, Mr. Morgan Freeman. Thank you so much for your insight on this. You're more than welcome, James. And don't forget, you must always stay on this podcast because it's just a really great way to reach out to the people. We're giving them facts to make them learn them. Wow, thank you so much. Well, thank you. And that's it. That's it for the time being. So sign out from James from Whiskey, Wine and Wisdom. Till next time on Celebrity Carpool Questionnaire. Peace out, everyone. Goodbye, everyone.